Greetings and welcome to the Table in the Tavern. I am your host, Leon Jenkins. Due to the whole Super Bowl weekend stuff, we've got some people that are running late, but we're going to go and get started without them. But before we get started, I'd like to go talk about a little bit of something that has been asked to me a number of times. Okay, how do you play D&D? What is D&D? How do I get started? Okay. Well, I have a couple questions. I'd like to go and bounce that question off some of my players. How, if someone was to ask you, what is D&D? What would you tell them?
Well, I would personally say it is a tabletop role play game that is typically set in a fantasy world. And it involves a lot of math and role play, really. Occasional combat and world building.
Andrew, you've been playing with me for a while. Okay, there's no real wrong answer for this. What is D&D? How would you tell someone what is D&D?
To me, D&D would, to me would be something along the lines of, you know, a fantasy role-playing setting where you use some form of mathematics to either, subdue or be subdued, unfortunately. With a lot of like lore building and everything. It's almost like you're almost having like a weekly episodic like TV show, but instead of it being on the TV, it's we're all using our imagination, acting, and put together to create the environment.
I like that analogy, like a TV show. Okay, it very much is session to session. That's one of the things when I started picking up this game from a Magpie. It was Avatar Adventures. I think some of you actually played with me with that, and that was essentially what they described the game as. Okay, the way that they intended their game to be played was basically episode by episode. Okay, each episode is built in a certain way. You know, you kind of talk to your players about what's going on beforehand, and so on and so forth. That whole thing. Of course, in that game, everyone had roles that they would be playing, and so it was very much set up like an episode of a show. But playing D&D isn't that much dissimilar. I saw Cody about to pop in. He said, "I'd say tabletop role playing game, basically make believe on steroids for players." I've had a player compare it to a form of a video game like Skyrim. Okay, yeah, for sure. So in my mind, I think of D&D as a simulation. Okay, what you're doing is you're essentially simulating the life of an adventurer. Okay, but what is an adventurer? Okay, an adventurer could be a vagabond, a collector, a dungeon crawler, a mercenary, a hunter, a bounty hunter, a merchant, a monster hunter, a sellsword, a diplomat, a seeker of questions. In D&D, the possibilities are endless, and every adventurer's journey is unique. A D&D session focuses on three essential elements, the three Ds of D&D. I really like that term. It was something that was coined to me by a friend of mine that used to play with us. The three Ds of D&D: dialogue, discovery, and danger. So every character, for dialogue, character interactions, role play, and quest giving moments. Keep the game going, have things for them to do, so on and so forth. Discovery as you're traveling, meeting new people, exploring places, and unearthing new lore. Of course, the aspect of danger, encounters, and combat. Not every encounter has to end in violence, of course. Some challenges can be resolved through dialogue or diplomacy. Would everyone agree with that? Would you guys agree with that or disagree?
I agree with that.
I totally agree with that.
Just like any good story, a session should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning, set the stage with recaps, introductions, character development, and, of course, a setting. Towards the middle, we want to introduce some setbacks for the player, something they have to overcome, conflicts, and maybe even some form of combat. In the ending, bring things to a climax and then a resolution, a hint of what may come in the next session. Tools like Incarnate, Roll20, D&D Beyond, Discord, and ChatGPT offer resources for rating great games for you and your players. Many even have free versions to get started on any budget. But being a DM goes beyond building encounters and loot. It's about being a mediator and a storyteller. And that takes patience and practice. D&D is a collaborative storytelling tool where everyone at the table helps create the story together. That's why listening to your players is the key element. As a DM, I like to think that I set the stage, create the world's events, and bring in pieces to life in my own little particular idiom. But the players bring their own unique play styles, each with their own stories and choices, and each one together help shape an adventure that is one of a kind. In essence, that's what I think playing D&D really is. And in essence, all you need is somebody to say, I will DM it. I will run this game. Okay. I'll run a game for you guys as long as you guys are willing to play. Okay. That's all you really need to get started. And then, of course, you need some players. I like pencil and paper. Easy to erase mistakes. Okay. But of course, there are all kinds of different forms of keeping track of things. Okay. Nowadays, this day and age, most of the stuff is done online. For instance, most of the players that I'm playing with, like Andrew lives in Texas. Ryan is out in New York. Cody is across the other side of town. You know, none of us are actually in the same room together. I remember when that's what D&D was. We had Dork Night, and we'd all get together and we'd all hang out, play some Halo or whatever it was until everyone got together. And once everyone was present, we enjoy a game of D&D. Okay. Now it's a little bit easier, as all you have to do is find a few people to agree on a time and a place. In this case, our place is Discord. Our time is now. Okay. We have a couple players that are running late. Scheduling is truly the biggest BBEG, big bad evil guy, in D&D. It is more powerful than any dragon. It is more devious than any any diplomat that you may come across. Okay. It comes with curveballs. One moment you think you're ready to go, and the next moment you don't have a party to run, because life happens. But we roll with the punches. Okay. It helps, to have an idea of what you've been playing, what you've been doing, so you have an idea of what's to come. That's the important part of taking notes. Most people end up having that one person that takes all the notes and kind of keeps everyone on track. And for our party, this party, that would be Gracie. Okay, as you can see, Gracie's not here. So as I asked the big question, what have we been doing lately? Can we get a little bit of a recap before we go forward? I'm wondering who's going to come to that call. So does anyone want to take the mantle on that? Anyone want to go ahead and give us a little recap of what happened the last time we played?
I say we all take the mantle, and we all add on each other's experience.
I like that.
I will.
A true form of collaborative storytelling.
Absolutely. So the group enters the Fey realm. Our guide is talking to these pixies, and he begins to sink into the ground, with a bunch of vines pulling him down underneath. I jump on top of him and attempt to keep him from going underground. I believe Gracie also attempts but fails. Vines start wrapping around me as well. And we all start rolling initiative right off the bat. We attempt to kill all these plant monsters that show up. Finally get our guide out of the ground, and we flee with me dragging one of the corpses of the plant monsters alongside us. We eventually manage to get to an area that is semi-safe and take a long rest. We are also rolling for time manipulation according to the Feywild, and we have no idea what is going on behind the scenes, but that's going to be a story for another day. Anyone would like to add to my story?
I see Cody added, I remember plant monster fight because we didn't do what the Fae wanted. Well, what he refers to as the Fae creatures, as far as the pixies and the brownies that were asking them about themselves. They were very curious. They wanted to, figure out more about you guys, and you guys blatantly ignored them. Okay. They didn't take too kindly on that, but I'm not sure completely that the monsters were a result of that, as much as someone was trying to get at your guide. Do you remember that? Do you remember that your guide, Ifo, had some prior relations with a archfey of this realm?
Oh yeah, that's right, and that's why he didn't want to go with us. But I persuaded him to continue to push on because he's such a great guide.
And so then when you guys resisted not letting him go, which great job on that part, guys. And I have to say, for real, you guys did a great job of working together as a team to help Evo. Okay. And in turn, they released a bunch of creatures that ended up giving you guys a hard time. Okay. But Andrew, did you have anything you wanted to add, or you think we got that all pretty much covered?
I think Young got that pretty much. That's all I can remember.
Okay, very good. Okay. So, last time I recall, you guys decided that it was time to take a rest. After making your way through the Feywild, you tried to find a location where you guys could do so, set up a little camp. Ifo found a nice place near some water. I told you guys to stay clear of the water because there could be some dangers lurking, and he helped refill all your water skins and so forth. May have shared a story with you. This also be a good time to let you guys know that I've added you guys to a podcast, okay, that regularly runs, okay, now titled The Bronze Pelicans, the name you guys voted on, okay?
Yes.
Neat.
In fact, let me set this up to go.
And while we're waiting for our other member, this campaign is powered by W Energy.
Thank you. You know what? Take it away, Ryan.
Actually, I got some great energy. Hopefully, powering the two offenses on in the game right now that can't do jack the another.
Yeah, someone's over there watching the Super Bowl doing double duty. But yes, this stream is powered by W Energy. Okay, using the link in the description below, you can switch out over to w.gg and fill up your cart and use that promo in the description below. Jenkins 10 to earn yourself 10% off at checkout. They have a brand new flavor that's coming out. I'm very excited about a sherbet. The sherbet push-ups, the same push-ups we enjoyed as kids. Some of us may not remember them because some of you guys are still considered kids to my age. But sherbet push pops, they've got a new flavor that tastes exactly like it, they claim. I'm curious to find out. Anyhow, we also have friends over at One Link at a Time. I provided a link in the description below for One Link at a Time. Head on over there and get all your dice and dice accessory needs. In fact, that's where I've gotten most of my dice you see here. Like I said, they have dice accessories. This is not dice. This is a book. This is a book made of buffalo skin and what is it called? Sheepskin. Uh, it's pretty cool. I can't wait to actually do some scribbling in it, but I want to get better at my calligraphy before I start putting stuff into there. But that is going to become my own little spell book, guys. I swear it is. Okay. But yeah, all my dice little needs. They got more than just dice over there. Okay. Also, in the description below, you can find a link for Start Playing. Okay, and Start Playing is actually one of the associates affiliates that I have, where I'm actually, or the Table and the Tavern is actually registered with Start Playing Games. So if you're having trouble finding a game for yourself to play, and you and your friends, or just you alone, head over to Start Playing, and you can start playing today. Um, and with that, let's go ahead and get on into it. So you guys, we're all taking a long rest. Was anyone? Are we going to be doing any kind of shifts for this? You know, everyone keeping an eye on the Fey Wilds while you
Yeah,
sleep.
I feel like we all should take a shift. How many of us are there? There is.
Currently, there's 3 here plus EFO. I'm not going to account for players that aren't currently here. Okay, but you know, we'll say that Gracie and um Amric are resting their eyes. Okay, so between you 3, who would like to take first shift?
I will take first shift as I am busy drawing up my schematics and passively listening to my surroundings.
All
And I
right, so
successfully drew my schematics within the hour you said, so
yes,
I
you did.
will use that time to take my shift.
So as you're on your guard shift, stay up for a couple of hours, let everyone else rest. Cody says he'll take a second, or aka Rogar. Um, there is a small pixie that is buzzing about, asking you about what you're doing, and why you're here, and who you are, and how do you know EFO. And before you can ever give an opportunity to answer the question, she always has another one for you. But do you want to take time to answer any of your questions?
I will give her the absolute death stare of my life. Will not speak a single word to her or
Very
it.
good. Very good. So, I'd like you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Sure. Perception. +6, that makes that 17.
Okay. The Feywild never truly becomes dark. Instead, the forest glows in muted colors, soft blues, dim violets, and the faint amber shimmer of drifting spores that float lazily through the air like falling stars, falling slowly out of the heavens. No, everything seems quiet. No wind, no distant animals, just that buzzing pixie and the gentle breathing of your companions at rest. Okay. With that, about a couple hours go by, and you want to take an opportunity to get some rest yourself. Rogar said he would take second shift.
Yep. Cody's taking second, and I will tell my silent friend, stay silent. No talking to pixies.
No talking.
And I will go to sleep.
Okay, so Rogar, you're up on guard duty. Okay. And of course, Pixie is buzzing about, asking you various questions: who you are, what's that on your hip, the little gun thing you got going on, and what's that in your bag, so on and so forth. What are you doing here? Are you talking to the Pixie at all? You're going to ignore the Pixie as well. Okay, work on a project. Write it up. Very good. Go ahead and roll me a tinker check. Nice. Okay, so that's a success. Go ahead and roll me a d4. One. It's only going to take you an hour to finish up your stuff, so you'll be done with your project before it's in time for your shift to end conveniently. But because you are preoccupied, I'd like you to go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage. 14. Very good. Once again, the everything seems quiet. No wind, no distant animals, just gentle breathing of your companions as they rest. Time passes by. What project were you working on?
In the silence, you can hear the gentle snoring of Spencer and his deviated septum.
Phew! Phew! All right. Okay, nice. Okay. So with no further ado, your watch is ended. Okay. A couple hours go by. Next to the chopping block is our good friend. You're going by what now? I believe it was let's see here. It's not is it still Chase or is it Chase? It is Chase Pumpernickel. Okay. All right. Chase Pumpernickel. I can't. Okay. Heimerdinger. I like that. So, Mr. Heimerdinger, you're up on shift next.
Mr. and happy.
Having a little trouble hearing you there, Chase.
Sorry, I said I was up, ready, and happy to take shift.
Okay, very good. So once again, while you're on shift, the same Pixie is, asking all kinds of questions about, what you're doing here. She seems a little bit, peeved that no one wants to talk to her. She's like, can you hear me?
I just ignored Pixie.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Give me 1 second. 19.
19. So everything seems quiet. No wind, no distant animals, just the gentle breathing of your companions. You hear something. It's not footsteps. It's more like the faint crinkling of paper, the shifting of cloth, the soft clink of something very small being moved. At first, you think it may just be the force settling, and your attention turns over to your belongings, your party's belongings. Then you see them. Near the edge of the camp, half hidden behind packs and bedrolls, small shapes move in quick, jerky bursts, no taller than a hand span, big as a hand. Okay. All right. A
And what
flicker
are
of
they doing
wings
again?
catches an ambient glow, scattering little flashes of light like reflections on water. One tiny figure tugs at a satchel twice its size, grunting in a whisper, in a small voice.
Help me lift it. No, not from that side. That side.
Another
I,
approached the top. Sorry.
I was about to say, can I approach the voices?
Of course. Another perched upon a backpack is carefully unfolding something it clearly doesn't understand, turning it upside down as if hoping something might fall out. A third freezes. Another freezes suddenly. A pixie as it sees you looking back at it, and then head snapping your direction. It lets out a sharp whisper.
Uh-oh.
Around your camp, several more tiny shapes immediately stop moving. Everyone just stops, freezes. Total stillness, as if they don't move, you won't see them.
Do I clearly see this one pixie in front of me?
It
Because if I
must be
do,
weeping angels.
I'm going to smack it.
You
Like
smack
open
it.
palm, just
Okay, so
Or-
as you reach your hand up, it says, "Whoa! This is a security inspection. Very official, extremely necessary." One of the
I
brownies.
ignore him and go for the slap. I'm not even
All right,
listening
roll
to
me
him.
an attack.
Give me 1 second. It's gonna be an unarmed strike, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just needed to know my plus. There's an 18.
Yes, it does. You see the brownie just fly across the forest. Go ahead and roll me some damage. I don't know if you roll damage or not. It's just a standard. It might be just a standard.
It's a standard 4 points.
Okay, so it smacks against the side of a tree and just slowly, Looney Tune wise, just slides down the tree into the brush below. You hear someone,
Oh, you should be thanking us. Someone less honest might have stolen things from you.
you hear someone else,
You left it right here. I thought you were done.
I proceed to ignore them and pull out my revolver.
and about that time, you hear a gunshot in the distance, into the woods, turning your attention, and everyone is awake. Okay, you see what looks like two brownies and then a pixie holding up what looks like Rogar's shotgun slash flamethrower. Okay, and one of them has it looking right down at.
No. Well, hold on. I couldn't see it come out. Try that again.
Okay, as the three of them combined are inspecting his little shotgun to see how it works. It fired, of course, and wakes everyone up. So there's brownies and pixies that are all over the forest. And they have your stuff.
Who? What? Where? What's
What would
going
you
on?
guys like to do?
Clearly, I get up.
Clearly, you get up.
I look around and see what the hell is going on.
Okay. Very good. You see, all as
No rolls?
everything goes on. They start to scatter from the camp and start disappearing into the foliage. Go ahead and roll me investigation if you want to look through your stuff, see what's missing. Roll me a perception if you want to try to see where these guys are going.
Perception 23.
All right. So you see them scattering in all types of different areas of the forest. You see one with like a revolver, like three of them really with a revolver. Some of them have like a short sword. Someone has like a satchel. Someone has what looks like food. Okay, but they're all scurrying up into trees, disappearing in knots under the trees, trying to squirreling stuff away.
I start blasting them with lightning bolts from my armor.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Was it 15 hit?
Yeah, 15 hits.
Great.
Go ahead and roll me some damage.
8 for the first shot.
And 20, natural 20 there, Cody. You seeing the same things he's seeing, disappearing into knots of trees and so forth, and up into the distance of the forest, of course, with your belongings. You go ahead and hit that one. How much damage was it?
8.
8.
Oh, for me? Yeah.
You see him, you hit him with the shock, and he zaps. You can see his hair start to frizz up, begins to smolder a little bit.
And I zapped him again for a 20 to hit and 11 lightning damage.
This is the same one?
Same one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Roll your attack and damage.
Yep.
You said 20 for attack. Go ahead and roll your damage.
20 to hit, and the damage was 11.
Okay. Well,
11 lightning.
Good news is you got it.
Hell yeah.
As you zap him again, he lies lifeless on the ground.
Dropping the gun, hopefully.
Well, there was 3 holding the gun.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
I thought it was 2.
But we'll say that they dropped the gun. Sure. They dropped the gun. They're like, oh my God, he killed him. He killed him. Oh my God.
And I'll use my movement to move towards him.
All right. So yeah, you okay, go ahead and make me you want to attack the guys that have your shotgun. Go, very good, Cody. Go right on that. A 17 will hit, sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage, bud. Okay. So yeah, you shoot a hole right through a pixie, and she falls from the sky and down on the ground, lifeless. They drop the gun and disappear into the forest. Okay, so you guys got a pistol back. You guys got the shotgun back. We'll say that they even drop some like the satchels and stuff like that as you guys are getting real serious. They're not pilfering through your stuff anymore. They are disappeared into the forest. It is quiet, deathly quiet. Ifo is like, well, what happened?
I will check to see if they took anything off of me and if I'm missing anything.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me
investigation.
Investigation. The one with the eye. Yeah. So Ifo's like, well, what's going on? What happened?
That's a 9.
Is anyone going to answer Ifo, the satyr that is your guide?
Thieves. Sorry, thieves.
He says, "Well, I wouldn't have done that. They're just playing. They're like childlike. They're all about fun and shenanigans and so forth. They don't really mean any harm. But I guess that's one way to get them to leave you alone. We can't leave them like this. We have to take care of them. Give them back to the Fae." and he goes and gathers up the brownie that you guys killed, and he gathers up the pixie that you killed, and he goes over and starts to starts to sob first, starts crying uncontrollably. He is crying. He at first he's like, thoughts they were just playing, and they're not playing anymore. They are really dead. He is very sad and broken about it. He takes their bodies and goes to says, well, there's only one thing to do with them now, and that's give them back. Well, I didn't expect things to turn dark like that, but I suppose that's what I get for bringing you all here. I suppose, but these are my friends. I know you guys are my friends too, but these are my friends. He says, well, will you at least help me bury him?
Yes, I can do that.
Right. So what was your investigation? And Cody, your investigation of a 12?
9.
9. Okay. With your 9, it seems like everything's there. It
Great.
feels like everything's there. With a 12, you rounded up some of the stuff from what they had taken, and you think you have everything accounted for there, Cody. You seem okay. They may have made off with a couple of rations and so forth, but you think for the most part, you've got all your belongings. Okay. And Andrew, anything you're doing over there, bud?
If the pixies are giving up and surrendering right away, if they're staying here, I want to shoot one.
Oh yeah, they disappeared off into the forest. Unlikely they're going to return. From what Aoife says, sounds like you guys definitely scared them off.
Perfect, because yeah, then in that case, yeah, nothing.
Okay, so you guys do bury them. Okay, takes some time, and Evo says some words and sings a song, plays his little flute. You can see a number of the pixies and fairies begin to emerge from the forest, and they can see from a distance. They're not getting close; they're just kind of staying off in the distance. You can see the forest move a little bit with small heads popping up from behind stones and out of tree limbs and so forth. With no doubt the brownies. So it looks like you guys are being observed from a distance, but they are not getting close to you guys anymore. With that, we'll say that you guys finish up with your long rest. Okay. So Ifo, a little sad, and it's like, I'm not, what should we? I told you I'd get you to Reeves, and that's what I plan on doing. A good guy never gives up. You guys had asked me if I could use the trees again to travel. I believe that I can, if that is what you wish.
I'm sorry about your friends.
Okay. So Gracie sounds like she's just got done with dinner. Okay, so she'll probably be on a little bit. So he says, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry that they were so curious about you. Maybe I should have taken it a little more seriously about them, but they never really mean any harm. They're just having fun. Like I said, they have the minds of a child. My time in the material plane has woken my eyes to much of the darkness of humanity, and I am a little bit discouraged that I brought some of that humanity here. But I'm sure that that you guys have good reason for doing what you did. I suppose I'll open that portal now, he says, making his way very, very sadly off over to one of the trees. He places his hand on the tree and sings a song. And you can see the tree open up as like a knot that just seems to get larger and larger and force a tunnel. It seems like it goes way deeper than the tree would allow, as like you can peer right on through the tree into the very maze that is its roots. Okay. He says, quickly now. You guys all travel?
Yep.
You guys are headed towards the mushroom forest.
The mushrooms, yes.
Come through a tree, and Ifo looks a little bit confused as you guys arrive at the other side. He says, "This isn't exactly where I meant to go, but at least it got us this far. Kind of strange the way the Fae works sometimes. Places aren't exactly where you imagined them a moment ago." He says, "But I believe just remain on the path, and we should be at the mushroom forest before too long." He looks around a little bit confused about his surroundings, as though he like you said, he popped out of the tree and may have been in the wrong spot.
I will take out the book and have him look in the mirror for guidance to see where he is and help him better understand where we are.
Say again?
Speak to this. It'll guide you.
So you reach into your bag for the mirror, and you can't find
Yeah.
it.
Oh, mother. Is the tome at least there?
What tome?
The mirror was separate from the tome.
Well, it went into
Oh,
the
it
mirror.
became one.
Mm-hmm.
God
So a little
damn it.
compact. It appears that it may have amstrayed with the pixies and the fairies, but I'm sure you'll find it again. The face only so big, right? In fact, go ahead and do me another investigation.
That's a little better. 23.
You don't see, it's strange. You don't see anything glowing in your bag anymore. It was. You got the stone, huge power
Did it take my
source.
goddamn hammer?
No, the
Or
stone
oh,
that you had.
the stone. Got it.
The stone, shiny stone. Yeah. Just made off with a couple of things. I'm sure you'll see them again.
My infinity stone is gone.
So, like little strange contrast to the forest. The forest colors begin to deepen into burnished golds, copper reds, and deep browns. Leaves drift constantly here, but none ever seem to reach the ground. Seem to hover and float. They hang in the air, slowly churning like thoughts that are never finished. The temperature is cool, not cold, not frigid, comfortable. The kind of chill that reminds you winter exists. Okay. You are definitely in the fall. Ahead, the trees begin to part, but not into a room but a grove. Not a clearing, but an orchard. Ancient apple trees stand in careful rows. their fruit heavy and ripe, some perfect, some bruised, some already rotting where they hang. Beneath them is a circular space of stone and root, worn smooth, pardon me, worn smooth by time. At its center stands what appears to be a woman made of bark. Her body is bare, unordained by armor or finery, and her skin is not flesh but bark layered with vines and weathered like the trunk of an old orchard tree. It looks hard at the first glance, yet you can see where it would split if what? No. Forget that last little bit. Fine cracks run along down her arms and shoulders, and within them glows the faint amber hue of sap, slow and patient. And it looks at first glance as if you could see where the her she was split. Okay, split as if struck, where age has made it a bit brittle. You can see a bit of sap coming down out of her head, like a little bit of a crown. She leans lightly against a staff that seems to be grown from living wood, crowned with amber leaves that never fall. Her form is tall, slender, wrapped in layered robes of bark, silk, and fading gold thread. Her face is beautiful. Sharp eyes smile, and a smile that, sorry. Eyes jump rose. She has sharp eyes and smile lines earned rather than carved, like hair, and hair that cascades of copper leaves caught in mid-fall. Leaves cling to her hair as if they grew there naturally, caught forever in just that moment, the moment just before they fall. She speaks, and it seems as if when she does, the wind in the area stops, almost as if the trees take a breath as she speaks. And when she stops speaking, it's almost like you can hear it exhale, the forest exhale. You arrive with your guide. Her eyes soften. Welcome, travelers. You stand in the court of waning gold. I am Queen Aurelian, okay? The harvest matron, lady of the last warm day. Ifo takes a deep bow and then kind of turns to you all and, insists that you do the same. What do you guys do?
I too bow.
Okay. Rogar? Quarter. Sorry, not quarter. Chase. You bow or ignore Ifo's instructions. Andrew, that would be you.
Oh, I'll go ahead and bow.
Okay. All right.
Bow.
She smiles as you bow and says, rise. I rule what is ripened and what is about to be lost. What can I do for you here? That was a question.
Yes, I point to Ethos. I cast message, and I say, "Are we able to safely speak to this being?" You can reply to this message.
He answers back. He says, I wouldn't suggest ignoring them as you did the pixies and brownies.
Great. What was the question again? My ADHD brain completely forgot.
She asked what
Oh, what brings us here?
basically what you doing here. What's up, Doc?
We're trying to find a wizard that can help close some ancient tombs that have awakened evil in our realm.
A wizard, you say? I know of a wizard from long time ago, it seems now. Forever and a day, and yet almost like yesterday. Ifo brought him through my woods. He asked to reside beyond my forest, in the mushroom forest or the hollow that is there. As far as I know, he still resides there to this day.
Would you
Surely.
be as kind to point us in the right direction?
But surely that is not all you desire while you were here.
Ah, yes. Some of your children have stolen things from us that we would like to get back. They are dear to us.
Steal? My subjects never steal. They may borrow or inquire, but they never steal.
You are 100% correct. I am sorry. I misspoken. They have borrowed things from us that we would like to have back eventually, and it would be great if you can organize our meeting up again.
Stay for a moment and speak to me of your journey, and you shall have your belongings by the time your story is concluded. And she speaks, and you can see the tree begin to shuffle. The ground even quakes a bit as she speaks, a little bit out of just a little bit of anger in her voice. Okay, perhaps not at you. And then again, perhaps at
You're breaking up there a bit.
Oh, sorry. So the forest ground trembles a bit as she speaks. The leaves all shake. Okay. You feel like her message has gotten across. She simply wants to speak with you, and by the time that you're done telling her about what where you've come from, your journey, your story, share with her your story, and you will have your belongings in exchange. So
I look to Ethos for confirmation.
he's like, I do as she says. Maybe
Aye,
it's
aye,
time to
Captain.
stop ignoring the creatures of the Fae and actually speak.
Anyone want to take a turn? I've been speaking a little bit. Quite a lot.
Andrew.
Sorry, I was just watching a touchdown.
No, you're okay. So
Where's the right?
the arch Fae, okay, of the fall, has asked you where you come from. Tell us your story of how you got here. How did you come to
Here?
know Ifo?
I was like, well, I mean, it's just the guy that we met, um, on our journey, and He's been pretty helpful.
Stimulating.
I think he wants a little more of our story.
Bit. As riveting as that was.
Maybe we can mention a dragon, vampires, death and reincarnation, stuff like that.
She says dragons, vampires, death, reincarnations. That is surely a story to be told. Let me hear.
Saving me at one point. I killed by a rock. We had to kind of, put life
That
back
just the
into
shade that still lingers with you, no doubt.
And that same person we revived ended up shooting a pelican that happened to be a bronze dragon.
So, Andrew, as you start speaking about, that whole situation with the axe and stuff like that, you can feel your hand itch a bit where that wound was. So as you reach down to touch your wound, she says, "Come closer."
Right. Okay.
So,
What about
are you
Gwen
wearing
with her
gloves or
scar?
like a gauntlet or something like that,
I was like, no.
or are your hands bare?
Like, oh no, funny story.
What's that?
Part of our journey was like involved in me obtaining an axe, and I was kind of cursed, and I had a little black wound on my hand where I'm kind of rubbing, and it's starting to hurt now for some reason.
Because once darkness is with you, it will never truly leave. It leaves its stain on everyone. Everyone that touches darkness is either consumed by it or becomes a parallel. May I see your hand?
Sure, I show my hand.
So you have a glove over it, or is it just a bare hand?
Just a bare hand.
Okay. So there is a scar, like a nasty scar, where that wound was, and it never feels like it ever really fully healed. Always kind of itches and so forth. As you extend your hand, she reaches out and covers it with her palm. You see a bright light begin to shine from beneath her palm, and you can feel a warm sensation fall over your hand that then travels up your arm and through your entire body. You guys can see he's glowing. Okay. As you guys watch, you can see Chase starts to glow. And then you can see what looks like a dark ether begin to seep out of him and begins to dissipate in the air above him. She says, "Your wound will trouble you no more." She removes her hand, and as if you were never struck, there's not even a scar.
Hey, can you do that to my friend Gwen? She has a little bit of PTSD when it comes to rocks, and that big scar across her stomach.
And which one is this win? We may have to wait for her to arrive, Ryan. Help me out there, bud.
Yeah, I know.
Um, once she jumps on, I do know she had intended to. We'll revisit that, okay?
Yes.
So, what of you, young dwarf?
Padawan.
Man, um, referring to you there, Spencer.
Yes.
What is your story? How did you come to find yourself before the Queen of the Fae, the Queen of Autumn?
Well, I am just a tinkerer, you see. I have been guiding these hooligans this far and trying to keep them alive as best as I can. It's tough out here. Um, but mostly trying to invent new ways of keeping us all alive and safe. That is pretty much the majority of my story.
You struggle to keep your companions safe from darkness in the lands. Is that what I understand?
That is correct.
She says, "What is this you are wearing?" She's referring to your
Oh,
armor.
this suit? This suit is something of my own creation. Um, it gives me certain abilities, um, that have aided me greatly in our, adventures.
I see. And of you, we'll wait for the gnome to return, I suppose, or the dwarf.
The gnome? Oh,
I forget. It's Penny Parker. That's the gnome, and he's a dwarf. He said he stepped away, so we'll revisit that. So her Oh, you're back. Okay. So she says something about met a tomb, looking for a way to defeat the vampire and dragon. The vampire and dragon. Please elaborate, young dwarf. I was looking for monsters to cage and use them for their own ends. And she was riding an ancient red dragon that is plaguing the world as well. I feel his fire from here. Yes, I know of what you speak. Um, you ally yourselves against the dragon, therefore you ally yourself. But I will not tread upon the material realm no longer. As your world becomes more and more naive to our way of life, you do not treasure nature for its bounty. You force it to give to you what you desire. But I know change does not come in a moment. But there are many of these portals that you came through to visit my fae that have shrunk away and disappeared. Too few still exist. The barrier between the fae and the material is dwindling. Soon that barrier will no longer be passable. And then what? What will happen to your world then when laughter is gone? When the new spring doesn't come? When fall turns to winter and death? and death remains. What will you do? Build more machines? Burn more earth? Pollute the sky until it no longer shims in silver and blue and gold, but only black and gray? Is that your way? She asks.
As much as I love my technology, I do not intend to intrude on the beauty of nature. That's not my way.
As you guys are speaking, you can see that the orchard that you guys reside in is starting to fill up with little fey creatures, pixies, and brownies that begin to place belongings down at her feet. You know what belongings? Your belongings. They even bring with them 2 bodies, dug from the earth, still covered with dirt, and lay them next to it. She reaches down and picks them up with 2 hands and says, "You would quell laughter and love? For what reason have you done this?"
They startled us awake in a new land that we are unfamiliar with. It was a reflex that I deeply regret. I do apologize.
Not mine, but I was taught by a gnome. Huh? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rogar. But oh, you're talking about your character when I had said something about a gnome? Okay, very good. All right. So she looks to you.
If I could take it back, I would.
Do you wish it so?
I wish it so.
Step forward.
I step forward.
Give me your hand.
I reach out my hand.
Places a brownie in your hand. She says, "Now you're up.
Now what?
Now your other."
I do as she wishes.
Places in the other. She says, "Would you trade a bit of your essence for theirs?"
I do.
Make me a Constitution check.
Con isn't too awfully great for me, but I will try. That's a dirty 20.
Nice. You feel cold resonate from the ground up and shake your body to the point that you almost collapse on the ground, but then hold yourself. The pain is almost too much to bear, but you bear it. You could feel as though warmth is leaving you through your hands. And as your hands begin to get warmer and warmer, almost hot to the point that you think they will burn you, you see life once again as the little hands and feet begin to stir. They look up and look at you, scared at first, jump away, dart
I'm
behind
sorry, little ones.
the thing. She says, and go ahead and You lose 5 hit points. Okay. This is
Permanently? Great.
In exchange, a life bond. She says, "Don't worry, little one. Will not harm you." And she picks up the brownie from behind her. And then she goes and turns to the fairy. And she holds them out in front of you. She says, "Choose. Which will accompany you on your journey?"
The fairy.
Pixie. I may
Pixie,
have
yes.
I may have said fairy. It is a pixie. Okay.
The pixie.
There's some similarities, but they're also different. The pixie turns and looks at the archfey and shakes her head. "No, no, I can't go with him. I can't go with him. You will be an ambassador of the Fae. You will tell me if his heart is still true or not. You shall inquire. Tell me if he has a mind of steel. You return to me in 3 months' time of your Earth's material, your time in Thalia. Okay? You will return to me and report. And upon that time, young, what was your name again? Spencer?
Yes.
You will be judged. But
I
no,
await your judgment.
no, I am no executioner. But barring your judgment will be whether or not you will ever be allowed back in life.
Of course.
In all actuality, you probably don't ever want to come back here regardless, but okay.
As I make another bow.
All right. So we'd have a Gracie by now. I live with something for her. But I guess we can
You
circle
can totally say no, but may I ask what would the consequences of failing that con save would be?
Well, you would have I would have doubled the dice. So you would have gotten 2 rather than 1.
Got it. Were those
And then you
D6s
probably
or
also would have been
exhausted?
yeah, probably something of that nature. I probably more than likely. Most of these things I kind of make up as I go along. But yeah. But yeah, essentially that's probably what would have happened. More than likely, I would have rolled your constitution would have been 4 exhaustion. Okay, so you would have gone 1 down the scale, and I would have doubled the dice. I thought about giving you half the damage, but I figured I'd just half the dice. Okay, so let's take a brief break here. Let me see where Gracie is. If she's not going to end up getting on tonight, we're just going to go and continue on. But I do have some stuff prepared for her with the whole arch phase. So I don't want to move you guys on until I know what's
So,
going
are
on.
you saying we're at halftime?
No, not exactly. You guys are just in the first quarter.
Gotcha.
But let me just find out what she's doing. So while we're doing that, I wanted to go ahead and take this moment to remind everyone that this stream is powered by W, and in the description below you can find a link for a 10 to earn yourself 10% off your order if you choose to go ahead and throw some W in your cart. Make sure you use the promo code it listed in the link below, Jenkins10. That'll earn you 10% off your order. Let's see.
Woo.
Okay. I'm just going to go outside, but don't worry, I'm going to bring you with me. Just gonna take this moment to use the restroom quick. What's the game look like there, Andrew?
37 seconds away from the greatest get back in NFL history.
Very bold.
There's Rick Mays running for his life, throws, flag on the field. The game's pretty much over. You see him everyone. Scores 29-13.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Well, are almost in. You've been fretting over this for a while. I was pretty sure that. Out of curiosity, of those 29 points, how much of that was defense? What's that?
For sure, like 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was from our kicker. Darnold did throw a touchdown. I think Walker might have scored a touchdown too, or running back. It was just a collective team effort. Like New England was trying to keep up with us, but collectively as a team, from defense to offense to special teams, they just played a complete game.
Yeah, that's good. Seattle, half of the Seattle's offense is defense, so
yeah,
getting them good field position, allowing the team not to work so hard trying to move the ball, but at the same time getting them in field goal range is a little bit easier.
Yep. Trying to see what down it is right now for them. I think it's 4th down with 12 seconds left. So, yep, game's pretty much over.
Racy. So Gracie, it's no shame if you can't make the session. You don't have to tell me you're trying or whatever. If you can't make it, you can't make it. We'll just move on. We'll just wait for her, see if she okay. No, she's okay. Sorry. Yeah, probably won't make it in time. Okay. I'll stop waiting. In that case, I'll just revisit some of this stuff later. We'll say that the Archfey takes Gracie's character aside for a moment, speaks to her in private. Okay? And that'll help us to get on the road. Jason. Heading back to my dungeon now. You can turn that off. Oh. And return. Okay. Gracie says she's probably not going to make it in time. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I'd rather you guys just let me know. That way, all that good stuff. Don't worry about that. As much as not, I'd rather just move on than trying to wait for her, thinking she's still coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we going to wait for her interaction next time, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about what happens with her the next time. The next time we Tracy back. So her little conversation with the Archfey will be
still happen.
Private for now, but
I'll
reveal with Gracie what all is said. Okay.
Cool.
She raises one hand. Okay, and 3 leaves fall. Hovering in the air before her, she says, "I will not command you. It's not my way. But I will offer you 3 truths." Okay? A truth about your companion Zil. A truth about your adversary you've come to know as Lady Bell. And then a truth about yourself. Truth about whether or not Zil's sacrifice, what did it actually accomplish? Truth is, Lady Bell now has her sister, a Reaper, with her. His sacrifice may have tipped the scales in her favor. A truth about Lady Bell. She fears too. Even a god has fears. The fear of falling. And a truth about yourselves. I believe you doubt yourselves as heroes. She says, winter is not coming, though. Not today, but soon. And when you stand before endings, remember who welcomed you when you were at the edge. The path closes behind you as her voice echoes one last time. Cycles continue. Do not waste what you have left. And you see a path begin to emerge before you. Okay? And she disappears into the Fae. Efo's like, well, that could have gone worse. Not exactly the woman I remember. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to add that little combo between her and Evo. Referring to Evo, he says, "He once walked beside me when I was small enough to be overlooked. When laughter mattered more than lineage. When love did not yet ask permission. I offered him my hand, but not the one I had, but the one I would become, the one I have now." But he refused, didn't you, Evo? He would not stand beside a queen, thought himself unworthy. He would not be elevated at the cost of believing himself lesser. He loved me too much to lie to himself, much as some of you lie to yourselves. And with that, she disappears into the Fae. Okay. All right. Night Watch, all that stuff's already done. All right. So you guys begin down the path. Okay. You guys travel for a couple of hours. Okay. You guys spend about, roughly about, we'll say about 30 minutes to an hour with the Queen of the Fae as well. Okay. I'd like you to make some rolls. Oh, yeah. We're going to roll 2d6. We're going to roll one for the time there with the Archfey. Go ahead and roll. Someone can roll that for me now. Roll a d6.
I rolled a 5. And should I roll a second, or is somebody else going to roll a second?
Does someone else want to roll the other one? This will count for 2 more hours.
We got a 2 for Cody. So a 5 and a 2.
Okay. All right. 2's good. 2's good. Okay. So we got 1 out of 5, 8 out of 6, 1 out of 5, and 2, and a 2. Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Rapato. All right. So, at the edge of the path, 2 ancient roots rise from the earth and curve together overhead, forming a natural archway. Along the inner surface of the roots, pale bioluminescent moss grows, and delicate lettering that spells Lumen Shade Hollow. The letters slowly pulse with gentle light, almost like it's breathing. When you pass beneath it, faint motes of glowing pollen drift down, almost like sparks, as you pass underneath it. Almost like if you were, Andrew, if you were coming out from the WWE and making your entrance and all the sparks, kind of like this. You guys just entered into Lumen Shade Hollow, and you guys had a little pirate, as it were. But it's just moss.
Some theme music a little bit if you're able to.
I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, if you're able to throw in a little theme music.
Can I? Can I?
Sorry, I'm ready to do now.
Okay, sure. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, let it slowly pose with light, like it's breathing. Uh, the the forest slowly changes as you approach. Towering trees give way to vast, lantern-soft mushrooms. Their caps spreading like layered parcels overhead. Pale gold spores drift lazily through the air, glowing faintly at dusk like suspended fireflies. Their scent here is warm and earthy, touched with a bit of sweetness, like rain falling on autumn leaves. Nestled among the colossal stalks lies a small settlement. You can see a sign made from Lumenshade Hollow. Okay. You can see from the sign. So as you're passing through, you can see this small town sprawling. Make sure I explain that right. The homes are carved directly into the mushrooms themselves. Rounded doors of polished rotwood sit at the base of thick stems, while spiral staircases wind upward along the outside, leading to balconies grown from hardened fungal shells. Windows glow with amber and violet light, and a faint laughter and music and the clinking of glasses drift through the clearing. Tiny fairy folk flit between rooftops, going from rooftop to rooftop, leaving shimmering trails behind them. You see a centaur carefully ducks beneath a low archway, while a pair of elves argue cheerfully over a bundle of glowing herbs at a market stall. The town feels peaceful and yet watchful as eyes seem to be upon you. You know, the way that places in the Fae often do. If you want to roll me an insight, you may. A 5 for your insight? Very good. You feel like you're lucky to get away from the archway with your life, Rogar. Andrew, you want to roll an insight for me?
Give me 1 second to check my plus on the inside.
Sure. And Ryan, you are muted if you wanted to roll me an insight.
I must have an 8 in insight.
8 insight? Very good.
5.
Not very insightful. Very good.
No.
Moving along. Okay. At the center of the hollow stands the largest mushroom of all. Its deep crimson cap forming a natural canopy over broad wooden platforms. A carved sign swings gently. The sign reads, "The Velvet Antler." Inside, if you guys want to go inside, blah, 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 yakety smacky. I don't know that that's where you want to go. Efo says that Reeves lives just beyond the forest, okay, the mushroom forest. He says, if you head that way, you won't miss it.
If we head that way, what?
You won't miss it.
Got it.
As he begins making his way towards the inn.
I
He turns
follow.
and says, I believe this is where our paths depart. Of course, if you need me any longer, you can find me at the inn. So he's heading to the inn, tells you guys follow that way. basically, turning to, if you were to come in and go to the right, he says, just keep on following that direction, and eventually you'll come to the edge of the mushroom forest, and there you will find.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
Is the drink safe at the inn? Because I think for the first time in my life, I could use a good drink.
So do I, he says. He says, typically, I will admit, he says glibly as he turns to you, he says, my heart was always filled with laughter and joy. I knew but song and of joy and laughter before making my way to the material plane. And every time I leave the Fae, I feel a bit of that leave me as well. But here I find I can rekindle that spark a bit with some of my friends and family that I know. And here lies my friends. And of course, the Fae is my family. So, you guys are following him to the end, is that correct?
All right. I will, at least.
Okay. So then, Rogar and Andrew, I'm assuming you guys are going with Ryan.
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. So, inside, the space is warm as you open up the door. It is lively and pleasantly crowded. Tables are shaped from polished stumpwood, and soft moss cushions serve as seating. Hanging lanterns filled with glowing beetles cast shifting golden light across the room. Roll me a perception check.
That's a 9.
A 9.
Sadly.
What you got there, Andrew?
What are we rolling again?
Perception.
Perception, gotcha.
With a +6, I rolled a 9.
Your rolls are terrible this evening, guys. Just so you know.
Hey, I rolled well when it counted.
Ryan, I hate to follow up on your number because you said 9. I rolled an
You rolled a what?
An 11.
11. Okay. So, you guys notice, well, Rogar, you notice your shoes. A little bit dirty from walking through all the Fae and stuff like that, and you're trying to get off all the stuff as you wipe them off at the doorstep. But Ryan and Andrew, you guys notice that elves are sharing quiet conversation over some herbal wine. A centaur family off in the corner that seemed to occupy an entire table. Okay. You see some sprites hovering over some cups that are much larger than themselves. And Andrew, with your 11, you see a few watchful fairy folk who will pretend not to stare out of the corner of their eyes as when you look, they look back, The inn is run by a broad-shouldered satyr by the name of Bramble. He introduces himself, along with his spouse and 2 energetic children who dart between tables carrying trays nearly too large for them. Okay? These little half goat, half human kids, running around with these huge plates or platters above their head, little trays, just filled with food and beverage. Bramble greets you enthusiastically. Travelers, real travelers, not just lost poets and dream wanderers at this time. Come in, come. They offer you guys food and beverage and lodging if you require it. Okay. Ifo tells a bit of a story about your guys' journey through here, and they kind of look very surprised. Ah, really? That is quite interesting. quite indeed. Okay. So, they ask why you're here.
I need a good drink.
Oh, well, we have the best drinks. The best drinks. Yes, indeed. And you must try the honeydew wine. The honeydew wine is delectable.
Sure, I'll have one of those.
Okay. Pours you some wine, and it comes in a very small cup, perfectly sized for the small pint-sized satyr, but it's almost too small for your hand. You feel like Andre the Giant when you pick it up. He says, that'll be three shells.
Shell, hey?
Yes, 3 shells.
I don't think we have shells.
You don't have shells. How do you manage? How do you plan on paying for all that?
I will hand back the wine and say, we have silver and gold. I don't know if your that currency works here.
So, as you speak, you can see that Ifo is rummaging through his bag. He pulls up a few little seashells and places them on the counter. Says, "There you go. I found them by the sea. This one used to have an oyster in it. I did eat it though. It was delicious." Oh, nice. He picks them up and spells, I can still smell the salt water upon them. Yes, these are very good indeed. Have as much as you like to drink, and if you need any more, I'll need more shells, of course. So yeah,
So
you got
did
drink.
that cover me?
Second?
Great. That covered my drink, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Ifo paid for it with shells. Seashells.
Fantastic.
So,
I look at my little pixie friend. Do you require anything while we're here?
she quietly, steps out from a little. She's been hanging out with Ifo, kind of riding around on his shoulder. Looks around and says, "No, I'm okay right here. I'm fine. You just stay over there."
Okay. Again, very sorry.
Me too.
Good talk.
She says, the satyr, Brimble, he comes over and, he says, Ifo, it's been so long since I've seen you. Please tell me, what brings you back to these ponds? She says, we search for Reeves. Reeves the wizard. I brought him long ago. He says, yes, Reeves. Troublesome, fell ill some time ago. I'm sure he's about dealing with those them, the sisters. Hold on. So, mentions something about these 3 sisters that he's been dealing with. Something about him falling ill. Ifo says, not those sisters. Twisted long ago. Darkness took them. What would Reeves? What would them? They say, I don't know. Quarrels and so forth, neighbors and whatnot. Who knows? I'm sure he'll be back in a few days. You don't need it. After they drink their drinks and so forth, unless anyone wants to do anything else here, Evo says, I suppose I should go check in on Reeves myself, make sure he is okay. Shall we? Be off? Take that as a yes.
We shall. As I finish my one sip of wine.
Okay. So, on the far edge of Lumenshade Hollow, where the glow of the town begins to thin and the forests grow quieter, stands a solitary mushroom larger than all the rest. Its cap is a deep indigo, fading into pale lavender along the edges, and its thick stem has been carefully carved into a charming round cottage. A small carved door of pale oak sits beneath a lantern made of hollow crystal, glowing with a steady, warm light, despite of no visible flame. A narrow stone path leads to the entrance, lined with tiny wind chimes crafted from polished stones, feather, and a bit of bone, and little bits of colored glass that seem to sing softly when, even when there is no wind. The place looks peaceful, comfortable, lived in. As you make your way up to the door and Ifo knocks, the door creaks open easily. But what lies beyond is unexpected. Instead of, as Ifo passes in and tells you, come, I'm sure you'll be back before too long. We should just go ahead and make ourselves at home, and I'm sure he'll return. And he steps inside. Okay, you guys all follow?
Yep.
Okay. So, instead of stepping into a wizard's cottage, you find yourselves peering into what looks like a miniature home. A perfectly detailed living space, no taller than your knee. Tiny chairs sit around a circular table, no wider than a dinner plate. Shelves carved into the inner walls hold scrolls, rolled up thinner than pencils. Glass bottles no larger than a thimble, and stacks of books sized for hands smaller than yours. For a brief moment, it seems almost like a dollhouse. And then as the first of you crosses the threshold, the world lurches. The floor seems to rush upward. The doorway stretches behind you. And in the span of a heartbeat, the furniture is no longer tiny. It is perfectly sized. The chairs now fit comfortably. The ceiling arches high overhead, and the once miniature shelves now tower above you, layered with rings carved in layered rings carved into mushrooms and the mushroom's inner wall. Outside glimpses through the doorway, the world appears enormous. Reeves didn't build a small home. He built a pixie-sized home and enchanted the doorway to make visitors the appropriate size upon entering.
I look at the pixie next to me.
Yeah, she's still the same size. You are
Oh, still
actually the
tiny.
same size as the pixie right now.
I'm just staring at this giant-looking pixie. Like, oh my god.
Okay. Uh, you see a small etched sign that hangs beside the door. It says, "Please wipe boots before resizing." All right.
Wait, so if I take a chair out of here, does it get large with me?
You want to find out?
I don't want to take stuff
Experimentation?
just. All my equipment shrunk too, right?
Everything. Yeah.
So I put my hammer right at the edge of the threshold, right before the threshold. I step out of the threshold and I take my tiny hammer and see if I can grab it out. Is
Okay,
it
so you
still
stick the
tiny?
hammer through the threshold.
Yeah, so the hammer's on the threshold that adjusts at like I step in, drop my hammer, I step out, and I'm now big with a tiny hammer in front of me, so I go to grab the tiny hammer. Does it get larger or does
If
it
I'm
stay
understanding
tiny?
correctly, you left out the door. Okay, so you become big again and left
Yes.
the hammer inside, so it would be small.
Yes.
Then when you grab the hammer and pull it out, the hammer goes back to normal.
Huh. Interesting. I re-enter.
Reeve
Spencer is
says there's a
very
clever way
intrigued
to
with
save
magic.
space. I have to agree. Okay. Okay. So you guys find that the house seems to be empty. There is a pot of porridge on what appears to be a stove. Um, we're gonna roll me an investigation.
24.
24. Nice. So you go up and check you looking at everything. You can see like the pot of porridge that's on the stove. It's still a little bit warm. The burner's turned off and so forth. It's not on anymore, but you can still feel the porridge is still warm. So it seems like someone was just here. You can even see uh like he seemed to have set the table to eat, but then never got around to eating. The house seems to be empty, as almost as if someone just up and left. So with that, I would like to know what would you like to do. And I think we have an Andrew that may have gone lost.
I think we now have a book that we can consult with.
A book.
A tome, a
Yeah,
mirror.
tricky.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Where did my wizard go, bro?
Okay, so you want to talk with that
Yeah.
your little compact. Hold on one second. Let me see what's going on with Andrew real quick.
I keep forgetting what the name of this wizard is.
So let's see. All right. So, you look in the mirror and you're asking it what now?
So what happened here? Where did the wizard go?
Okay. The wizard says, the mirror
The
says,
wizard appears around the corner. I'm right here.
not exactly. Wizard shows a small, hold on. Shows a cottage that seems to be made up of like different bits, like some old rotted wood, part of like a mushroom cap, some stone, and some different elements that seem like they were grown into place. And inside, you take a glimpse and you can see Reeves, and he's laying on a bed, and has 3 women around.
Please. Anyone
So
who
we'll say that the mirror pans back, and you can see like Reeves' house from here. It's not that far. It's like maybe a few blocks away. They did say they were neighbors, having a little dispute.
I walk over to the other house.
Okay.
This way, friends.
Okay. You go up. You find this house is all compartmentalized, made up of different materials. Some of the mushrooms, some of it's made of wood, some of it seems to be made of stone. It's all like a composite. You see, of course, a doorway. And you go up and knock on the door. You're knocking on the
Knock,
door then.
knock.
Okay. All right. So the door opens soon after you knock upon it. As the door opens, a tall figure watches you with mild curiosity, looking down upon you. Stands about head and shoulders above you, looking down. Okay. But this time something feels slightly off. Her shadow moves a fraction too late compared to her body, as though she moves and then her shadow catches up. She appears tired but composed, projecting concern rather than hostility. She smiles, and she glances briefly over her shoulder before turning to you. Okay. Ah, visitors. You've come in looking for the wizard, no doubt. I'm afraid you've come at an unfortunate time. Poor Reeves is taken quite ill. Fever dreams, restless sleep. We are tending to him as best we can. He mustn't be disturbed. You want
That's
to roll an
perfect,
insight
because I'm a
check?
healer. Sure.
Steps partially into the doorway, as though to block the entrance.
15 for insight.
Yes, Cody, insight. And Andrew, if you'd like to roll an insight, and you may. 22 for insight. Nice.
30-20.
30-20. Now we're getting those rolls up there, guys. Good timing, too. Okay. As she looks over her shoulder, it appears as though she's listening to someone inside the cottage, but no one's visible. As she speaks, you can even hear a faint whisper layered under her voice. Her eyes briefly reflecting 3 pupils instead of 1. A violet lantern occasionally splitting into 3 overlapping shadows. Rest assured, when he wakes, I will tell him that his friends came by. Your concern would mean a great deal to him, I'm sure. She's sending you away. What would you like to do?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Is this guy bullshitting us or not?
Pull up mirror in front of her?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you're just going to use that to cheese everything I do in the game?
Yes.
Very good. So you whip up the mirror, open it up, and start talking to the mirror, asking it, what now?
What is the actual story here?
Right in front of this woman.
What is going on with the wizard?
It shows you the same picture. Sleep. Only there's 2 women around him now, not 3. She says, "That's
Spencer said he's not all
that's
omnipotent.
Quite interesting, little man. May I have a look at that, if you do not mind?"
No, I do mind.
He does mind.
Okay. So, everyone roll wisdom saves.
Oh, god damn it. My save is high. Let's see what the actual number is. 23.
Nice. Okay. Rogar and Chase, I'm gonna need wisdom saves.
Somewhat.
Wisdom save.
Where is my wisdom? 18 for the save.
18 for the save. Nice. So you guys watch as Rogar just slowly just topples over. Falls on the ground.
Wait. I'm trying to read something real quick. I'm trying to see if I'm able to use my Flash of Genius on him. Ability checks or saving throws. Yes, he has a +5 to that.
He falls over and goes to sleep.
Damn.
That would make the save a 15. Okay. So you see him fall over, goes to sleep, begins to start snoring. Okay.
Oh dear. Something tremendously wrong has happened to your friend. Maybe I should aid him.
I step in front of him. Don't you touch him.
Oh, quite the mouth on this one. Manners now. Manners. Is that anything else you're doing, or is that it?
Just looking through my spell list real quick.
Would you like to roll initiative? Could you do that?
I'm going to cast Mirror Image. I'm like,
Roll initiative.
are you sure you're not sick?
Yeah,
I-
roll initiative.
think your eyes
Roll
look
initiative.
like you're darting all over the place.
Go ahead and roll initiative. Okay, so everyone rolled initiative.
I surely did. Did I
Yeah,
get
give
my
me 1
mirror
second,
image
'cause I gotta
in
roll it.
before we rolled, or no?
So yeah, go ahead. Anyone has over the 20? Okay, so a 16. Okay. Anyone have higher than a 16?
I got a 17.
And what did you get, Ryan?
12.
Okay.
Was I able to sneak in that mirror image before initiative, or no?
I'm kind of rolling initiative to determine where your action takes place. So no.
Got it.
Andrew, you're up first. Okay, you see Rogar collapse and start to snore. You can see that Spencer is beginning to prepare some sort of action. Okay, and the woman is asking you if she could help take care of your poor friend.
For the woman, let me tell her, yes, please. We might need him to be woken up. In the meantime, remind me again what's in front of us that put our poor buddy Rogar to sleep.
It's a good question. It's a great question. It didn't come from her, whatever it was, but there is an old woman, kind of hunched over. She's taller than you are by head and shoulders, tall and slender, lanky. Okay, so it's an old woman in front of you, and whatever caused Rogar to fall over is not sure.
I say in a very stern voice, to the old woman, what business do you have here?
What business? Okay. My business is my own. And is that going to end your turn? Is there anything else?
I was gonna be like, not yet, because I was gonna say, after she respond to that by saying, "Is like, well, our buddy's asleep, and you're the only person here. So normally, I would try to follow my friend's idea of questioning, but I feel like if you don't admit that you put my friend to sleep or tell us a good reason why you're here, I'm gonna shoot you."
So I'm going to go and allow all that to happen within 6 seconds, but sure, why not? Okay. And the only thing she says in response is,
Yeah, that'll end my turn. Everybody take fire at the woman.
Okay. So, Rogar, it would be your turn. Okay. You got a minute before you can do anything. And that brings us, yes, you were asleep. Sorry. And that brings us to Spencer. Spencer, it is your turn. You were preparing a spell. Spencer, you are muted.
Ah, that makes sense. I cast mirror image on myself.
Okay. All right. So
Then I trot in.
Okay. You can't go
I'm a
past
small
her.
creature.
So now there's two of you, or there's multiple of you. Okay, but you can't pass through. If you want to, you may. Okay, but I'm going to get attacks of opportunity against you. Okay.
That's fine. I have mirror image on, so go for it.
All right. So you begin to pass through the door. Okay.
Sure, yes.
So we got your mirror image. Let's make sure I'm respecting your mirror image. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll a d20, determine whether the attack instead hits one of your duplicates. Okay. But as you try to go past her, she swipes down her hand. Her nails, you notice her long, almost like claws. So I must roll a 6. So I'm going to roll first the attack to see if it hits. Okay. It needs to hit an AC of 20. And that will hit. Now then, I need to roll a d20. Okay, during the spell's duration, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates. If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. Now, I believe this is you. Because it hits.
It hits me.
Yeah. Okay. So she attacked. So during the spell's duration, you roll a d20 to
I
determine
roll a
whether the
d20.
attack instead targets one of your duplicates. If you have 3 duplicates, you must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. With 2
Fantastic,
duplicates,
because I rolled a 6.
nice. Okay, with 2 duplicates, how many duplicates do you have?
I start with 3.
Okay.
She hit me, and now it's 2.
Okay, very good. So that disappears one of your duplicates. That's good. Okay.
Great.
And is there anything else you're doing on your turn? You cast a spell.
Oh, just moving straight through them. Because I'm small.
Very good.
Out of my way.
Okay. So okay. Okay, so this is not, I repeat, this is not the woman at the door. Okay? You see, okay, Spencer,
Yes.
little darts of light seemingly to appear out of thin air. And behind them is an old woman, tall, haggard, horns turned up like a goat's, purple skin flows down, teeth and eyes that are yellow. You are peering upon a night hag. She has just cast magic missile upon you. I'm going to hit you 4 times.
And that is a shield. She cannot hit me. That's my reaction.
You're going to use shield as a reaction. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to negate the deals right there. Okay.
Yep.
And then turn, and I'll have the hag at the door do the same thing. Like, no, your shield's up. Never mind. I'll take that back. Let's see. Let's go with the girl disappears. Okay, and turns into a whiff of like smoke right in front of you. She just turned. She's no longer there. The woman that was in front of you. Now there's another woman that's inside the cottage, and she's horned and purple skin. Okay, we're gonna come back to top of initiative. It is your turn, Andrew.
Woo! I'm shooting the old hag.
Okay. Old hag's gone. Fincher's gone inside the door. There's 3 duplicates of them. Beyond
Two
that,
duplicates now.
2 duplicates of them. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception to see if you can see anything inside the house.
I gotcha. What am I perception? Okay, cool. Let's just go off with a 25.
25?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you see a tall, towering figure above him, horns and purple skin. Okay. Go ahead and make
Oh,
me
so
a-
that might be what we're dealing with.
That may be what you're dealing with.
To the horn purple skin creature, I'ma shoot it.
Okay.
Let's go with a 29 to hit.
Okay. 29 will hit.
Ooh, sweet. That'll be 17 points of damage for the first attack.
Says 17.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. So, and is that going to end your turn, or are you going to take it another?
I got one more attack. I'm gonna do 26 to hit.
26 to hit. Very good.
And that'll be 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. Very good. Okay. So 19 points of damage to her. Will that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That will bring us to Rogar. Rogar, you're asleep. That brings us to Spencer. Spencer, it is your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to move further down into the building and look for our wizard friend.
Okay. Very good. You make a perception check.
That's a 19 plus. You said perception?
Mhm.
Plus 6, so 25.
So the room you're in is basically like a kitchen and a dining area. You can see stairs that lead upward, and then you can see what appears to be a cellar door, like something that goes down. So you got a way up and a way down. But the room you're in is a kitchen and dining area.
If I was a hag and I was holding an enemy in my house, I would keep them in the basement, so I'm going down.
Okay. All right. So you come over to the cellar door. I just watched Donnie Darko the other day, and apparently that's supposed to be the most beautiful word in the English dictionary. Cellar door. I don't
Cellar
believe
door.
It. Cellar door. That's what they say. Drew Barrymore plays. All right. So cellar door. You come over to the cellar door. You see, as you go to open it, it's difficult to open. It's almost as if they locked the door. Is that going to end your turn?
Holy hammer, break down this door. I start swinging.
Okay. You can do that. You want to start hammering at the door?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let me make an attack. That's a 12 to hit the door.
Yeah, you hit the door.
Fantastic.
As you hit the door, you see a brilliant light flash. Okay, as you feel like this has some kind of magical enchantment on it. Okay, that is keeping it, protecting it. It doesn't do no damage. What's the total of damage though?
Okay.
You definitely hit it. You definitely do damage. Just seems like it's a little bit less than what it should be.
First attack is 8. Second attack for the first attack, and then second attack is 5.
Okay. All right. So you rolled 2 attacks against the door, hitting both. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So it's going to do half damage on both of them. So we're going to go 4 with the first one, and we're going to go ahead and say 3 for the second one, which is a total of 7. Okay. You feel like you're getting somewhere as the cellar door begins to crack. Okay.
Okay.
With that, the woman in the room, okay, that had disappeared in a wisp, she remains gone. You hear some sort of strange language being spoke, and then the hag in the room, she disappears into a wisp as well, leaving you guys alone in the cottage.
Oh wait, I forgot to roll my radiant damage.
Okay. Oh yeah, radiant damage. They may do something to it.
Yeah. Looking for my D8. A 5 and a 7.
5 and a 7. Okay. All right. You feel that the door is almost. If this door was alive, it'd almost be dead. Okay, but you see shards and shrapnel begin to fly off of it. It is but hanging on by a thread. Okay.
Great.
This is going to take us to top of initiative. That brings us back to Chase Pumpernickel. Chase Pumpernickel, you see the interior of the cottage. The woman that was in there that you just shot a moment ago, she has disappeared in a whiff of smoke. So it's just Spencer in the cottage now, and you hear him hammering at something ferociously. What would you like to do? It's a bold move, Cotton. Andrew?
Say again. Sorry, I zoned out there for a sec.
It is your turn. Okay.
Ah.
All living targets are no longer visible. Okay. You do hear Spencer inside hammering at something.
I will go ahead and use my movement to follow the direction of Spencer's hammer.
Yeah, you go inside. You can see him looking over a cellar door, beating it with a hammer. Okay. You see the every time he strikes the door, gives up a brilliant flash of light, whether that's from his magic hammer or a magically sealed door. You're not really sure. Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not very well versed in the arcane. I really only have a sword. I don't have anything else really. So, I'm a hold off and just let someone else deal with this.
Okay. Meanwhile, you do see Rogar still snoozing away on the ground, just outside the door. Okay. And if that's going to end your turn, Andrew?
Yeah, pretty much.
That brings us to Rogar. Rogar, you're asleep, right? All right. And that's going to bring us to Spencer.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Go ahead and hit that door with that hammer. Hit it real good.
Does an 11 hit?
11 does hit the door. That would, no dexterity whatsoever.
Fantastic. Oh.
I'm not going to ask you to roll damage. You were already at the end of that. So with your hammer crashing down,
I rolled 3. I rolled the lowest amount of damage.
A brilliant flash of light is dispelled, and the door opens up into a dark, a pitch black recess beneath the house. This is the moment where everyone says, "I've got dark vision."
No, I don't. I just got a lantern that gives me 15 feet of sunlight.
All right, but you do see a dark, a very dark hole there before you. Preparing to descend down, right?
Yeah, why not? Bonus action, I'll activate my armor and flutter down the hole.
Now, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. It's the last thing I want to do is try to tell you guys how to play your game. But Andrew, if the goal is to search the house for the being, you can either A, stick together, okay, stay by Spencer's side as he descends down the hole, or B, there's a staircase leading up. It could be that the wizard you're looking for could be upstairs, could be downstairs. Kind of a 50-50 at this point. Are you going to follow Spencer down, or are you going up the staircase? It is your turn. That's why I'm asking.
I'll go up the staircase.
You're going up the staircase. Very good. You begin to ascend the staircase, and Spencer, you're going down into the cellar. Is that correct?
Yes. The door is unlocked, and our our wizard is upstairs.
Okay. So, very good. So, Rogar, I'm sorry, Chase, you ascend upstairs. Go ahead, and as you begin to make your way upstairs, you can see that it's more lit up here, luminescent up here. You can see a bit of shadows and so forth that pass by the window. Okay, but there are a few beds in here, 3 of them. They're all empty.
That.
So then, Spencer, we'll say you descending down below. Okay, you have your lantern, right? Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Yeah, sure.
In the dark.
Perception is a +6 for an 18.
Okay, so you
Unless
see.
You want to roll for disadvantage because it's dark.
No, you got a lantern.
Oh, fair.
I'm not worried about that. You got a lantern. Good. You did declare you're using your lantern. I'm fine with that. So you pull up your lantern as you're in the bottom. You can see on the ground that there's some sort of strange circle written in some, weird arcane
Arcana
lettering,
check.
different shapes and so forth. And in the middle of that circle is a bed. Okay. And on the top of that bed is what appears to be a man. Glasses, not so dissimilar to mine. Okay. Black hair, robes, very wizardly looking, completely asleep. Like, Cinderella type stuff, not Cinderella.
Can I roll an Arcana check for the magic circle?
What's that?
Can I roll an Arcana check for the magic circle?
Absolutely.
That's a 23.
23. Okay, so
yep.
Take a look around it and stuff like that. This seems to be some sort of ritual that's being done. And whatever it is, it it's being done by a fiendish entity of some kind, as the language is all done up in abyssal.
Great.
Would you like to know what type
Yes.
of magic is being? It's an enchantment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And now then, switching back up top. Okay, we got Andrew, you're up top, aka Chase. You find the beds are all empty and so forth up top. No, nothing else really of interest here. You do see what looks like a closet and stuff like that. Maybe something in there. I don't know. But are you satisfied with your searching of the top floor?
Yeah.
As you descend back down, go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So with your 16, you turn and look out the front door. And that spot where Rogar was asleep a moment ago, it is bare. Rogar's gone. Okay. And I think that's a good place to end our session. But yeah, Spencer, you find the wizard down below, and you guys lose a companion.
Z.
ZZ. I'd like to have everyone else here before we continue any further. Okay. Very interesting. I had a feeling you guys might decide to go straight to combat as you guys normally do. Whatever. It is what it is.
I didn't go straight to combat. I went straight to walking through.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Either way. Yeah. Combat. So, I hope you guys all had a good time. I want to go ahead and remind everyone that this stream is powered by W Energy. There's a link in the description below. You can use that promo code there to earn yourself 10% off your order when you shop at w.gg. There's promo code, of course, is Jenkins10. If you have trouble finding a game for you to play in, just swing on over to Start Playing Games in the description. There's a link in the description below as well for that. And of course, for all your dice and dice accessory needs, I choose one link at a time. There's a link in the description below. Thank you again for joining us today. I hope you guys all had a wonderful time. And until next time, be kind to each other. We're all in this together. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.